Hey guys, welcome to the Clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson, and today's review is going to be on Halloween 2018. Well, first I'm going to tell you, I apologize if you hear Kyra crying in the background. I've shot and reshot this video like 5 or 6 times. I can't get her to stop. She's crying for tack. We're just going to have to muster through it. So if you hear crying, I apologize. I'm just going to keep on going, and we'll try to get through this thing. So Halloween, let me tell you, first going into this movie, we went in and got our seats, which were perfect seats, and then this group of teenagers come in, and they didn't have enough room to sit. They had to sit in our row, even though the whole theater is empty. They had to sit in our row, so we politely move over, because that's what you do in life. You be polite and be respectful to others, and you move on down. So we did, and everything was fine. They come in and they fill up the whole rest of the row, and what they do the whole entire movie, talked the entire movie, commentary the movie. Don't go in there. Oh, you shouldn't have gone in there. Oh, you're dead. You're dead. Oh, yep, see, told you, you're dead. Stuff like that. The entire movie, until I finally broke and had to shush them, because I just had enough, and even originally had to hold my arm a few times and just be like, calm down, it's okay, just enjoy the movie. And so I had to deal with that while trying to experience this movie so I could give you guys a good review. And because I've been waiting for this movie for a very long time. I found out about it coming out last year around this time, so my expectations were really high. Because I love the original Halloween. I love the second Halloween. Not a lot of people do, but it is what it is. I love the second Halloween. And the rest of them kind of fall off the edge, after that. Some of them are enjoyable, but they've never really, got that scary tone, that the original Michael Myers gave us. So when they announced this movie coming out and it was going to take place, there's doing away of the 2 through 8 movies of Halloween, and then this one's going to pick up 40 years after the original film. I was like, okay, they're retconning everything, so I'm down with that. If John Carpenter's behind it, I'm good. And so here comes this movie, and despite all the noise and the irritation, this movie was excellent. Very well made, well crafted. It made Michael Myers terrifying again, and I felt, despite all the talking, I still was able to feel the tension. I can't imagine without the talking. I would have enjoyed this movie 10 times better, more than I did. But I still enjoyed the movie because it was very well made. And the acting, the directing, the writing, beautiful. This movie was great. Not a 10. There are a few problems. I'm thinking about doing a spoiler review for this movie. If you guys want one, just let me know in the comments below, and I will make a spoilers review, because I want to talk about a lot going on in this movie. Stuff that references, the first film that I thought was really cool. Now, I could tell you that without spoiling anything, but, there's a shot in this movie I thought was just so smart, and it's when her granddaughter is sitting in a classroom, and they're going over the same poem that's in the first film. And she, in the first movie, it's Laurie Strode, looks out the window and sees Michael Myers just staring at her. Where in this movie, she looks out the window and it's Laurie Strode out there staring at her. Her grandmother's just like, what are you doing? Because in this movie, it's 40 years later and she is traumatized. Laurie Strode's character is traumatized by the events that happened in the first movie. And she has trained her family. She has, gone the distance to make sure that they are prepared for if Michael Myers or anybody like Michael Myers, comes back and, tries to kill them. But after 40 years, the kid, especially her daughter, her granddaughter's kind of on her side. But I said that real country, kind of on her side. Sorry about that. I just realized that. But anyway, her daughter is on her side, but did I just say daughter or granddaughter? Her granddaughter is on her side, And I keep on hearing myself talking that country accent. I apologize. But her daughter is kind of like fed up with this whole Michael Myers thing. You know, gosh, it's 40 years, let it go, you know, kind of thing. And she is still, you know, she cries about it. You know, she can't help that she feels this PSD, you know, about almost being murdered and her friends getting murdered, you know, and all this stuff happened on this one night, and this killer is still sitting there in prison, not talking, has never spoke a word. I don't know about his entire life, but since he was 6, he's never spoken a word, and that's really a through line in this movie about getting Michael Myers to say something. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but I liked that. I thought that was a key element to making sure that Michael Myers is seen as he was in the first movie, and how John Carpenter originally wrote him as the Shape. You know, he is evil. He, you know, personified. You know, he's the guy in the background stalking you. You know, he's not, you know, just some deranged murderer. He's unique. You know, he's not just like that. He's just pure evil in a person, and he's literally the Shape. And that's what I think they lost after the second movie, you know, the original franchise. And I didn't like that. I didn't like, he was just a regular serial killer with a mask, you know, and that's not who really Michael Myers was. So that's why I think the other movies, yet entertaining, were still kind of fell off the edge. But that being said, this movie brought him back as the Shape. I felt like the same tension and the same anxiety about what was happening, you know, and that made me so happy that they went in a great direction like that, you know. And this movie is co-written by Danny McBride, the comedian, so of course there's humor in this movie, and I think some of it's not well done, but most of it felt real organic, so I was cool with it. The humor was funny, I laughed and still felt tension, but some of it took me out of the film just a couple of times. So it's not that bad, but it does kind of lessen the film. At some moments you're kind of like, don't do this whole humor thing that all these movies are doing nowadays. Just don't do it for that sake. You know, do something organic, and a lot of it did feel organic. And there's a little kid in this movie that stole the movie and was awesome, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you go and see it. He was amazing, but who really did the best job in this movie was Jamie Lee Curtis. Perfect. John Connor, mom, you know, Sarah Connor type, you know, 60 some years old, you know, but I'm still like ready to whoop this dude if he ever comes back into my life, and sure enough he does. And you know, no one really believes her, you know, or you know, they're kind of like, you're just being a crazy old lady, but she's like serious. She's like, you just don't understand evil. I mean, he is the boogeyman, and he's not just some dude and everybody's like, he's just some guy locked up. I love that dynamic with the family, you know, how they were just torn between, you know, taking her serious, or should we just, you know, she's just grandmother being crazy, until he does come back, and then they're like, oh, she's right, you know. I thought that was really cool, and then they kind of team up, you know, and it was kind of a showdown between her and Michael Myers at the end, and it was well done, guys. This movie needs to be seen. You need to go out and see this movie if you're a fan of the original. You know, it's nothing like any of the other ones. It's like the original. It's not as good as the original, because nothing much is, but it's stuck with the same tone. It feels like it is the best sequel to the original Halloween that has been made. Even though I like the second one, this is a better second one, so I'm happy for that. Great movie. I'm giving it an 8.5, and I'm teetering on a 9. By the time I do my spoilers review, if you guys want one, I might be at a 9, because the more I think about it, if I wouldn't have had the chattering and the talking, I had to shush somebody, it probably would have been a 9. So actually, I'm going to say this movie is probably a 9. You know, for its genre, for a horror movie, which it did open up with 77 million this weekend, only coming in number 2 of all time, only beat by Venom a couple of weeks ago, and just by the minimal of margins, $3 million, and it could have beat Venom. But anyway, proud of this movie. Go see it. It's really good, and that's my thoughts. But It's not all about what I think. What do you think? Have you seen Halloween? Do you plan on seeing it? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And as always, make yourself happy every day, guys. And the only way to do that is to remember, the only thing stopping you is you stopping. Bam!